Now look, I get it. I get it. You want to be able to cast all the spells possible. You want to be able to actually be successful at it. A lot of us, and I mean most of us, feel like we can't cast successful spells unless we have
all the tools, the perfect place, the aesthetically pleasing setup.
This is definitely a symptom of how New Age spirituality has become more mainstream the past couple years, especially the past couple years. But one of the negative effects being that you feel like you cannot cast your spells unless you have all of the tools, all of the pretty things, you got that Pinterest ready altar, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, today's video is going to be exactly why that is all bullshit, and the only thing you need to cast successful spells is literally yourself. Buckle up, because today we are learning how to cast spells without any tools. Hi, hello, my name is Azura. I post new videos every week and they're magical, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload. Hopefully, ding! And also leave a like on the video if you want more videos like this. And don't forget to leave a comment down below of what is your favorite way to cast a spell without tools. Have you been successful? Have you not? You got some good suggestions? Because I'm always looking for some new ways to cast some spells. Yeah, and if you want to join the after party with me and enjoy some of my exclusive spicy content, then you gotta be an adult, but the link is down below. Baby boy! We're only gonna use this, what we got here. This is gonna be our tool for today. This is going to be a very accessible video for anybody, alright? Actually, you just are magic embodied, literally walking around, like, so why not utilize that? Before we start into the different methods, let's start with setting an intention, because this is something that you're going to have to do no matter what kind of spell you're casting.
Unless you're very emotional in the moment, don't think about your intention and just do something stupid. Whoops. Please set your intention. Please set your intention before you cast your spells, because you don't know what could go wrong if you don't. So, there you go.
What does that mean? Basically, why are you casting this spell? What is its purpose? What are you trying to do? Design your intention for your spell based on its impact. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, you want to create the intention for your spell that's going to yield the impact that you want. I could say, I don't want to hurt anyone while I'm eating a burger, but a cow literally died for that burger, right? My intention wasn't to hurt the cow, but the impact is the fact that the cow is dead because I bought the burger. So that's kind of what we want to take into consideration when we do our spell casting.
No, we don't need burgers in our spell casting. Now you can do that if you'd like, that'd be fun.
You want to have your intention in alignment with the impact that you want. So if you want your intention not to hurt anybody, then you probably shouldn't buy that burger made out of a real cow, correct? So same goes with your spell. If you want to have a spell that is going to make you very prosperous, make you very abundant of wealth, as they say, then you're going to want to cast a spell with the intention of perhaps targeting your anxiety around money, or you're going to want to make a spell that targets your nervousness when it comes to saving money, or maybe you want to target your really shitty spending habits because you
just love Shein so much and it's something wrong with you.
Once we have your intention, we want to make this real to you. We want to not only create a space and an environment for you to cast your spell and feel good doing so. I recommend the shower for those of you guys who are in the broom closet. I know it might be hard to get like isolated time, especially if you share a room with siblings or you just might live with a bunch of people. It can be really difficult to have that private personal space, but it's pretty likely that no one's going to bother you while you're in the shower unless there's an earthquake or something. Although it also works in your bed right before bedtime, or you can go take a walk. It could be like, you know, right before school. Is school even a thing anymore? Where are you most comfortable? For me, when I cast spells without any tools, I'm most comfortable in the shower, in nature, or in my bed right before I go to sleep. Whatever works best for you is where you should go. Remember how your belief system is going to affect this, especially if you haven't casted spells before and you're trying to do spell casting for the first time, or maybe you've never had a successful spell before, or you've never casted a spell without tools. The reality is you have to address your belief systems. And what do I mean by this? Do you believe that spells without tools are going to work? Do you believe that you are capable, just as your human being, to cast a successful spell without anything else? How do you think magic even works? Is it even going to work for you? Is it pointless to be doing this? You need to address that belief system, because you would be surprised how subconscious beliefs, doubts, and resistances are actually going to hold you back from having that successful spell. It really can also affect the outcome and the impact, like I was mentioning earlier, if you have that subconscious belief that is in conflict or contradictory to what you're trying to achieve here. One of the best ways to get rid of this kind of nervousness is to create an inner realm, and I have a video all about creating an inner realm, and there's a challenge in the Hatchling clan if you'd like to take the challenge in creating your own inner realm. I'll leave that link down below and at the end of the video. Basically, it's just making an internal space within your mind's eye that is your space to retreat to. And I understand that not everybody is good at visualizing, so this isn't going to be the best thing for everybody, but I do recommend this exercise for everyone to start with, because it really will help you see where you're at with your visualization abilities. And this is going to be key if you're going to try and cast spells without using tools, because if your visualization is prime, then you should be using your visualization, because it's one of the easiest ways for us to tap into a reality that we wish to create and manifest. Because we literally just close our eyes and, oh my gosh, I see the forest, wow, I see the crystals, wow, I see the altar of my dreams, you know what I mean? But if you really struggle with visualization, then this technique is not going to be the best for you, and I will have a technique for you in a little bit. Once you do that, you're going to have an internal space where you have your own altar, you have your own tools that you use, and whenever you cast your spells, you're essentially going to close your eyes and go to this space and cast your spells in this space as if it were your altar in real life, and move that way casting the spells. And the great way about this is that when we use visualization magic this way, we can actually shoot fireballs from our wands when we do visualization for this. So one of my favorite ways to start casting a spell using this technique is in my mind's eye while I'm visualizing to take my wand and to cover myself in a shield of white fire, cover my space in white fire, and cover my house in white fire. Again, it really depends what kind of spell you're casting. Maybe you're doing a love spell, so you have roses on your table, rose quartz on your table, but inside your internal altar. So go check out that video if you want a little bit more of an in-depth explanation on that one. Another method for casting spells that's actually really helpful, especially if you really struggle with visualization, is truly just using your breath as the gateway. Breathing for humans is one of the very few things of our body that is connected to both conscious and subconscious mind. That means when we're sleeping, our subconscious mind makes sure that we're breathing, hopefully, and when we are awake, we're able to take in a deep breath, hopefully. I know not all of us are able to do this, but for those of us who struggle with visualization, the likelihood is that you are able to breathe under your control. You want to use different types of breathing techniques. This could be focusing on either one sort of word or one sort of phrase. If you struggle with visualization, maybe you can mash the two. You can use a visualization in your head, and instead of saying like casting a spell with words or chanting or something like that, you can just use your breath to bring it into existence. You want to bring money into existence. You can hold your hands out like this in your lap. You can't really see my lap, but hold your hands out like this in your lap, which is a universal sign of receiving, right? You want to receive the money. Whenever you breathe in, you're breathing in the money, and whenever you breathe out, you're exhaling anything that keeps the money from coming to you. And that's a way to cast a spell. So I'm going to hold my hands like this, but put them on your lap, but you're going to go and literally get into that state of just focusing on your breathing. And you can change up the breathing patterns too. So for example, maybe you have like a bill that came up for medical reasons and you're in a pinch and you need like $15,000. Wow, that's a lot of money. You need that fast, you need that now to pay off your bills so nothing happens, right? So you're gonna do this, but you're going to breathe quickly because you want the money to come quickly. So you go like this. And do it as long as you can. Yes, you're going to feel crazy afterwards, but trust me, breath work is so important. Breath work is so important for you to tap into the energy that it takes to create magic, but without necessarily using all of your energy on visualization, especially if that's something that you struggle with. Another one of my favorite ways to cast spells without tools is chanting. For example, you've probably heard, you know, like double, double, toil and trouble, something, something, the cauldron bubble, right? That is a chant, essentially. It's like the word part of a spell, but you really don't need anything but your voice for that, right? So if you have a voice, if you have vocal cords and you can speak, then you're able to cast spells this way. You can use either the English language, you can use whatever language you want, you can use whatever noises you feel intuitive to say. So maybe light language, maybe some other kind of whatever you feel called to do. It's all about the vibration. We create these vibrations with our vocal cords, and when we direct these vibrations in the way of magical manifestation or bringing about a desired feeling or reality, we can actually do this pretty easily with our voice. Especially when we dive into, music theory, and we learn about how different tones, different keys, different pitches will actually change the way we feel or receive a sound. Sometimes you'll have somebody hit that really high note and all of a sudden your body's covered in chills. This is what we're trying to tap into when we're casting spells with our voice, okay? Also make up your own chants. You can just make up like, ah, like you can do whatever, literally whatever can be a spell for you. It's just a matter of how you feel, because that's what we're trying to create here. We're trying to create that environment, remember? We're trying to make it real. So we want you to have this truly real, moving experience, but you are the one moving yourself. It's not the incense here and the candlelight there and you dancing with your wand like that. And no, leave that for when you have the ability to get all of that. But you don't need all of that to experience your magic. Right now, we really want you to just experience your magic. My favorite way is the voice, hands down, because you can do anything with the voice. You can cleanse a space, you can banish something, you can curse somebody, you can heal somebody. Your voice literally is so powerful. One of the chants that I did with like my coven back when I went pretty regularly is before a ritual we would chant, earth my body, water my blood, air my breath and fire my spirit, earth my body, water my blood, and then we would just keep doing that, but it would build and build and build, and we'd go faster and faster and faster until we were dancing within the circle and in this state ready to cast spells together. And that's the same kind of thing here. You can pair the voice singing with dancing as well. That's mint magic right there, is dancing and singing. The best spells I've ever casted have been just me dancing and singing in my joy, period. Definitely recommend using your voice, chanting or like mantras or humming or things like that, using the vibration of your vocal cords to induce different effects or desired effects. Start training your brain and your body to respond when you use these certain vocal cues. For example, if you use a clicker every time you give a dog a treat, when it hears the clicker, it's going to start salivating. That's the same kind of thing we're trying to do here. I think it's called conditioned response. Sorry, I should have remembered that term before I started the video. But it's basically like when you're just trying to condition yourself to get into that state every time before you're ready to cast a spell. So every time before you cast a spell, you sing a certain song or you do a certain vocal thing like, ooh, really just making up bullshit right now. If you were to do something like that and then do it maybe a couple times and use that as a trigger to get you into the magical zone, that's something that's actually really helpful. For example, before they're gonna go compete or something, they'll hold their thumb or pinch their thumb to relax themselves or something like that. This is what we're trying to get you to do. So it might feel ridiculous doing it by yourself, but it doesn't matter. No one's watching you, unless you
your sister's just like, the hell are you doing on the other side of the room? Which is why I recommend you use a shower, okay? This is why I said the shower, because she's gonna judge you, you little fucking weirdo.
The last way to cast spells is a little bit more advanced, but I definitely recommend lucid dreaming for those of you guys who are good at this, who can induce lucid dreaming by yourself, or who just like dreaming. If you don't have a dream journal, I definitely recommend keeping a dream journal if you're gonna try and cast magic this way, because
you could cast a spell in your sleep and then never remember it, and then it happens and you don't realize that it's you who casted that, and then you're like, whoa, why is this happening?
Yeah, keep a dream journal, okay? When you do that, it's gonna actually enable you to really get more in tune with your dreams and actually start having them more regularly and being able to remember them more regularly. It's really difficult at first to keep a dream journal, especially if you really struggle with dreaming. But if you really struggle with dreaming, this might just not be the method for you to use. But if you really want a challenge, this is the best way to cast spells for no tools, but for a challenge, right? When you get into your dreamscape, the best way to do this is to script a way for you to like go into a lucid dream. If you're unaware of what scripting is, I could make a video of it, but it's essentially just like writing out like a plot line of what's gonna happen in your desired reality. A lot of people who do reality shifting will use this method. If you want a video on reality shifting, I'm cool with making that too. I'm just gonna talk about scripting in the sense of before you go into a lucid dream, you're essentially going to script how you get there. So you say you fall, you drift off to sleep, and then you wake up this way, or you can be like
wandering through the forest, then you find this cottage and you open the door and it's to this like sea of stars, and you dive into the sea of stars, and then you find a glowing star closest to you and you slowly drift into the planet, blah blah blah. You get
the idea. That's kind of what scripting is. You can either do this every day until you're successful, you could just do it to shit around a little bit, or you can just try and cast your spell in a very dreamlike state before you sleep. That's kind of cheating, that's not lucid dreaming, but the whole point is to get into a deep sleep or REM sleep, rapid eye movement. Cast your spell in there once you become lucid. Before we go, because I love you so much, I actually have 2 bonus tips on how you can cast spells without tools. And my first one is exercise, literally exercise. Like, yeah, bitch, like drop and give me 20, but while you're doing that 20, like imagine what you want to manifest, imagine the outcome, and sync your breath with it as well. Especially if you do like a run, like go for a jog, and your entire jog should be dedicated towards manifesting or casting the spell that you're trying to cast. Have you heard of a runner's high before? Yeah, so basically all the endorphins that you're releasing while you're exercising is going to be used towards raising that magical energy and directing it towards manifesting whatever you'd like. And my second tip for you is actually a fun fact, actually really spicy fact. My favorite way to cast spells without using any tools is through orgasm. Yes, you heard me right. Through climaxing. Preferably through masturbation for me, but you can also do it with a partner. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about how you can use sex or sex magic or your orgasms to cast spells without using any tools, then go check out my link down below for my spicy content. You know the content I'm talking about. You have to be an adult, but yeah, it's on my free OnlyFans page actually, so you don't even have to drop $1 to watch the video. Those are my extra bonus tips for you, but yeah. Those are my favorite methods for casting spells without tools. You really would be surprised how some of these methods will actually yield you more successful spells than the most elaborate ritual ever could. And I think that's the whole point of this video is I just wanted to kind of touch upon this because look, with witchcraft going mainstream, it's not going to stop anytime soon. Pretty much everyone's a witch these days, obviously, duh. Just wanted to make sure that you guys know without a shadow of a doubt that like you do not have to have the most aesthetically pleasing everything in order to have like a valid practice. Like you do not have to have that perfect space or meditation room or altar or shrine or anything in order to be successful in your magical endeavors. You just don't. It's just a lie. So remember that you, right here, this is where the magic is, unless you think the magic is here or somewhere else. But you have to realize that the magic is within your grasp on your fingertips. You don't need anything else. And you can cast magic in any way else. You know, you can add magic to your water. You can, you know, cast a spell over your water, say like, heal me, blah, blah, blah. You know, you do what you want and then you drink it. You can do it over your food. You can do it while you're cleaning. You can do it while you're showering. You can do it while you're driving. You can do it while you're relaxing. You can do it to your TV. You could booby trap your house with just magic using your fingers. Like, that is the whole point. And that's what I want you to know. I want you to realize that you are so fucking powerful. And it doesn't matter if your spell is this tiny or the biggest thing ever. You literally are capable. I just want to kind of encourage everybody to cast a spell without tools the next time you do it because it's a really great exercise to be more dependent and reliant on our own energy opposed to relying on things like smells or visuals or actions to bring us closer towards our desired reality or to our desired outcome of raising magical energy for our spell. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about the topics that I talked in this video, I have a blog about it in the Hatchling clan that goes more in depth about each of the methods that I talked about if you're interested in maybe learning a little bit more. And again, if you'd like to support the channel, don't forget to become a channel member to vote on extra polls for videos you want in the future, like this one was voted for by the Hatchlings. Thank you guys for voting on my community polls here on YouTube. Don't forget to go check those out and become a member if you'd like to help me choose the video for the future. Thank you guys for having me on your desktop or on your phone screen for today. That is very nice of you to do. And don't forget to check out the comments to see everybody's suggestions. But until next time, stay geeky, stay cheeky. Oh, stay freaking